basically, I thought I was going to do a third rock album in a row, and I'd written like an hour's worth of stuff, but I hadn't really noticed until I sort of stepped out and had a look from the outside that I'd burnt out somewhat on that, and
fair enough.
it's the only time I've written a whole load of stuff and temporarily scrapped all of it to write a new set of stuff in the same year. So this Maxim list album was done from scratch with from nothing in 2 months, which I'm surprised that I did, but I'm never doing that again.
No, that's a lot of work and not a lot of time. Definitely a lot of new ideas and sounds going on.
Most of it is a lot less gainy, and it's a lot kind of calmer in that way. So, and then also that's why it has the really bizarre punk song in it as well. It's about how can we change everything? So we've got all this steadier stuff. Now let's put a punk song in, because I don't think I'd done one of them up until that point. But luckily I got all of my creative brain running again to do those songs.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. And am I right in thinking you got your first solo acoustic song on there as well?
It must be, yeah. Which was a statement of intent at the beginning, I think. If you've heard the other two, maybe change your expectations a little bit.
It's good though. For me, it's sort of field of progression, and it's actually been the most enjoyable of the album so far.
Okay, cool. That's
I think through you can feel the progression, but also through sheer variety.
When I was listening to it to get ready for this video, I was sat there thinking, I swear there's only 2 electrics on this whole album. I'm pretty sure of that. And I looked at the notes from it, and there is only 2 electrics on there, and I could tell which ones was which every time.
Which 2 electrics were they?
It was the first album I've done with the Epiphone Nighthawk custom reissue.
Yeah, good guitar.
Which stuck around for a long time, actually, a very long time. And you can tell straight away on, especially on the verses of New Roads, that it's different. And on No Worries as well, you can really tell. That was, I would say that is, and I still say this now, years later, it's the single best budget guitar I've ever come across. For me.
Having played it, there was nothing budget about it except for the price.
It's just pure flexibility as well, you know. And you can probably guess what the other guitar was in the time frame.
Oh, it's got to be the JS by that point.
In fact, I think there's only 3 guitars full stop, because there was 1 acoustic as well.
Yeah, which acoustic was that?
That's the Crafter still.
Any standouts on the album for you?
I think New Roads is a standout for me, and I sort of happened across it by accident, where I've been trying to do that almost medium to slow stomp blues rock thing for years and years and years, and I didn't know how to do it until it just came about like that. And I was like, especially, do you know what I mean in terms of with the verses where it has that kind of thing going?
Yes.
And that's exactly what I've been trying to do for quite a long time, so I was quite happy with that. And
that's always nice. Bit of a breakthrough then.
Quite interesting to have a bass solo rather than a guitar solo.
Yeah, that's not something you see so much.
And the bass sounds amazing on that whole album. Actually, I was quite because you can probably imagine where I'm thinking about new stuff a lot. I don't spend a huge amount of time listening right the way back.
No, of course.
And I was really surprised how, and you can tell the album was done in a very short space of time by my standards, the 2 months, because the bass strings sounded brand new for the entire thing.
Yeah, that is nice, isn't it? We all know how nice new bass strings sound. I'd say quite a few of the mixes are quite open, like they're really not overcrowded mixes.
There's a couple that my modern mixing brain would have tried to open out a bit, but I think all the others are stand up pretty well. So
pretty good with that. That's nice.
Standouts. Sorry, I went off on tangent like I always do. I thought Strange Days stands up quite well as well. And like you were saying, quite an interesting wah sound on that.
yeah, big sweep on it. But as you rightly put, it could well be because it's clean signal going in.
It does, yeah. It does show off a lot of the range of. If you think a wah's got lots of sweep with all the gain turned up, you should try it without any. You know.
Yeah.
The other one I thought was My Mind's Eye. I really like the drums on that, where I used to say years ago that huge ring on the snare. I used to say if they'd done more libraries with that snare sound on, I would use it for literally everything. It's a big chunky old thing. It looks chunky on the camera because it really is chunky.
Yeah, it's not actually close to the camera.
The EDAM box, as I used to call it. There we go. It's a bit of a one-dimensional pedal, the Satchurator, where if you brought it down from the gain from 10 to 5, it was exactly the same characteristic of sound, but just less intense.
Yeah.
You know,
I guess did its one job well.
Well, yeah, it's one of those pedals where any other distortion pedal I had, if you put it on the minimum gain you could have, it was virtually clean. But the Satchurator was basically, I am the sound all the way along the sweep. We're still using the Tonelab at that point, but I was using it in a rather different way, obviously. Pro 40 Focusrite on the Rain Livebook laptop. That particular laptop actually, I think, did the most albums out of all of them before it eventually gave up and said, "No more of this, please."
Oh wow!
It must. I think it did about 5 of the 9 in that one laptop.
Of where the good people can listen to this album then.
And this is a joke only us two will get, that it is on Spotify.
Good. Are you sure?
I know it is because I looked at my own Spotify page. It's on Apple Music as well, and that means at the time it means it's also on iTunes. It's on YouTube Music, and it's on my own YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, they put it. I just made a playlist. So CD Baby, the distributor, put it on there. It's on Amazon Music. I think it's on Unlimited, but it's definitely on Amazon Music in some shape or form. It's on the website as well, in Glorious 320.
Yeah, that's how I listened through. It was good. Would you say this is an album indicative of your style, and a new Joe Saunders listener should pick up this one first? Or do you think maybe it's an acquired taste?
Not an acquired taste, an oddball, I would say.
Yeah. The Maxim list, where did the title come from?
I always get my interest piqued when I hear an expression from someone that I've never heard from anybody ever. And that's interesting when you're in your 20s and you've heard a completely new... Because people tend to go for obvious expressions and everyone repeats the same ones and things. And I thought, oh, this is weird. I've never heard this before. And it was in a Satch interview, I think. He said there was all these maxims, and obviously this is the full-blown age of the internet by this point. 2012. Yeah. That was where it came from. Just getting accidentally educated, I guess you would say.
I guess so. No, I do. And so, what is a Maxim then?
Look before you leap and things like that, that kind of thing.
Okay, so that is a Maxim.
To try and sound more educated, it's a quote of wisdom.
A quote of wisdom, yeah, I like it.